Gavin here from Shawfall Tech. We transitioned. We're no longer at the EU Startup Summit. We're at Hogwarts. Welcome to the House of Gryffindor. We're going to go meet Dumbledore. So come on guys, let's go. Hi, Gavin here again. I'm with Zoya today. She's just going to give you a quick introduction of who she is, what she does. And we've got a few questions. It will last about 5 minutes hopefully, and be great to get your view on recruitment, I guess, and challenges you face as a startup yourself.
Sure, yeah.
Sweet.
So hi everyone, my name is Zoya and I'm the founder of Aura Startup Partners, and we're a fractional finance function for startups and early stage scale-ups. We help founders essentially build out their operations when it comes to everything from accounting, bookkeeping, forecasting, budgeting, and also raises and getting investor ready. We work with both startups and investors to get their portfolios to a place where you can raise lots of money and grow your startup. And so that's about me.
No, that's amazing. It sounds amazing what you do. And I guess being a startup yourself, this question goes around a lot of startups we work with and people I've worked with in the past. I guess being a startup, when it comes to like budgeting and growth and managing all that, what would actually justify any external cost in going out and using an agency? And do you use agencies when it comes to recruitment at the moment, I guess?
Yeah, totally. So I think like for the startups that I work with, and being a startup myself, the main issue is limited resources, right? So we've got, founders that are really focused on sales and scaling and getting their product to work. And when it comes to recruiting, that's not typically something that is going to be one of your first hires in a scale up. And so it's way better to just outsource it, I think. And it would be justifiable if you're able to focus on like what it is that your main mission is, right? And one of those things with being a scale up is that you've got like limited resources, and one of those resources is your time. So I think it definitely makes sense to go like the recruiting route when you do have like limited funds, limited time, limited HR like resources, especially when you're early stage. And I would even recommend, because we recommend things to our startups, is that you actually should go the recruiter route anyways, because it's a larger cost to you to hire somebody to do that full time, and it could be too early on when you're scaling.
Okay, no, it's interesting you said you recommend startups to actually use agencies, whereas we've spoken to a few people today and they've actually said the opposite. As a recruiter, we don't want to hear that. It's amazing you think that way. I guess when it's come to referring recruiters, or when it's come to working with recruiters in the past yourself, have you ever had is there anything good or bad you've taken away from someone in the past, or is there been a recruiter that you thought, you know what, it's been really bad service, and care to like share? Sort of story?
So I had this one recruiter that I was working with, and he was helping me find talent in Mexico and Latin America.
Okay.
And he was actually helping me find like finance functions. And one of the challenges that I had found with working with this recruiter was that he just didn't get the mission and what it was that we were looking for. Like we needed somebody who was very like high encompassing, could like read from like end to end like what an issue is and advise and own projects, as opposed to be someone who needed direction. And then there was also the opposite, where we were getting people who were way too underqualified or way too overqualified. And it was like understanding like the needs of the business was one of the things that we just never got with him. So in the end, interestingly enough, like we decided to scrap that altogether and train someone up, and we actually ended up getting somebody to train a guy that we had inside externally. So it went from, instead of recruiting somebody, we brought in a trainer instead. And I mean, it worked okay, but that wasn't the ideal. It ended up costing us more. So
no, fairs. And look, just to wrap it up, I guess, is there any advice you would be able to give to startup founders like yourself and recruiters like ourselves that would help give a positive outcome for both of us, I guess, in the future?
Yeah, sure. So I think like with the founders, like really being able to communicate what exactly like it is that you're looking for in terms of a profile, and then also for recruiters like yourself is understanding like what is the stage of the business, how like what's their growth looking like, and like what kind of talent would make sense for the stage that they're in. Because I think like when it comes to startups, for example, and scale ups, like there's such a huge range of like where you can find like the skill level needed when you're super new, and you've got no infrastructure or anything. Maybe you don't need somebody who's like senior developer. I mean, again, it depends on the startup itself, but I think that's like the main thing, is like understanding like what level of skill you need, and then matching that.
100%. Well, look, thank you so much, Sarah, for your time today. Yeah, hopefully we can connect and go from there.
Thank you. It was great to meet you.